Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan. We continue our search for the scariest places in Fallout 76. Today we go to Boone County, West Virginia, and we find the White Thing of Boone County. You're gonna love this one. Boone County, West Virginia is located south of the capital Charleston and would be part of the ash heap in Fallout 76. Boone County was named after the famous hunter and explorer Daniel Boone, whose home was in the Great Kanawha Valley from 1789 to 1795. The county was formed in 1847 and the city of Madison is its county seat. Like so many of West Virginia towns and counties we have visited, Boone County has the full beauty and charm that makes West Virginia so special. On the surface, it looks quiet and peaceful, but in the shadows, the locals say something terrible lurks, and some have been unlucky enough to come face to face with this beast that has plagued their county for far too long. It is a beast of legend. One generation would warn the next generation, and it was handed down in West Virginia, according to the locals, for as many generations as could be remembered. Now, as with any other beast of legend, many outsiders will certainly mock and laugh, but to many of the locals, and especially the ones who have encountered this beast one-on-one, it is definitely no laughing matter. Some call it the Sheepsquatch, but the locals simply call it the White Thing. It is a long-haired, apparently carnivorous quadruped. It was first officially documented by Ruth Ann Musick in her book, The Telltale Lilac Bush, published in 1965. In her book, she documents a few real encounters with this creature near the Kanawha River region. She goes on to describe this creature as the size of a large bear, solid white in color, long wool-like fur, and saber-like teeth. It has a long snout with horns like a goat. Its paws are like those of a raccoon, but much, much larger, and its tail is long and hairless. Well, I don't know about you, but I would not want to run into anything that looked like that. But that's exactly what happened in Boone County, and it wasn't that long ago. The sightings we're going to talk about started in the 1990s, and in fact, they would continue with the last sighting being just last year in Boone County, West Virginia. That's right, a string of sightings of this White Thing, the famous Sheepsquatch, that has been spotted numerous times by very credible witnesses, all in the same general area, Boone County, West Virginia. The string of sightings started in 1994 when a former Navy seaman stated having witnessed the beast breaking through the forest after investigating a mound of mushroom caps he found on the forest floor. He stated the White Thing breached the woods and sounded like the woods were literally falling apart. He stood frozen in fear, not knowing what was coming. He just knew it was something very big. As he looked over, he saw this huge white beast kneeling to drink from a creek. He said it looked like a huge bear, yet it had horns on the top of its head. He said it walked on all fours like a bear, but yet would stand on two legs at times to look around. He was shocked to see what he was looking at. He could not believe what he was looking at. This was the White Thing that he had heard about, and he was frozen in fear. He did not even want to breathe, worried that this thing might see him. He felt like it stood at the creek, drinking forever. It would lean down and take a drink with its mouth, yet it would put its hand down in the river as well. The seaman went on to say he observed this creature move on from the creek and continue through the woods to a nearby road, walking both on all fours and on its hind two legs as well. He observed the animal for almost 10 minutes as it walked across this nearby road through the woods and then again took off running on all fours, sounding like the woods were falling apart. The seaman said he was so thankful that the white thing apparently never saw him. In the same year, 1994, 2 children observed the creature while playing in their own front yard in Boone County. What they reported having observed looked like a very large white bear, yet it was standing on its hind legs and had horns on the top of its head. They said it looked to be 6 or 7 feet tall. Presumably it did so standing on its hind legs to try to observe what they were doing in the yard. The children were obviously startled by this thing coming into their yard, and they screamed. When they did so, they stated the beast ran off through the woods, breaking mid-sized limbs off the trees in its path. After they told the parents, the police were contacted and came out and did observe where the beast had left the scene and the tracks that the beast had made. The following year, 1995, the creature was spotted in Boone County yet again. A couple was driving through Boone County and the creature was spotted in a ditch alongside the roadway. As many curious passersby might do in such a situation, they stopped the car to get a better look at the creature. When they came close to the creature, instead of fleeing as the creature had done in the last situation, the creature leapt toward the car and started attacking the car. Now, in this situation, the people described the Sheepsquatch, or the white thing, a little bit different than the earlier descriptions. They added that the creature had 4 eyes, which is a very unique description to say the least. All the other descriptions remained very similar. The couple stated when the beast leapt out of the ditch and began to attack the car, they felt it was not trying to attack the vehicle, but yet trying to get into the vehicle at them. Thankfully, they were able to flee the area and get away from the beast and notify the authorities. Once they got home, they got out and noticed large scratches and gashes out of their car, and they made a full report, and it was in the local paper that week. The white thing attacks in Boone County. Between the years 1995 and 1999, there were many small sightings in Boone County of the white thing, and when I say small sightings, I mean glimpses of the white thing. There would be people reporting seeing him in a distant curve on a road here and there, all kinds of reports like that, but nothing major like the ones that we had reported until an incident in 1999 involving 2 couples of campers who were out in the woods in Boone County. This one was very, very scary. They were sitting around a campfire close to their home but out in the woods, and they heard an animal snorting, much like a deer would snort or even a bear, and then they heard scuffling around the campsite and right around outside of the light area that the fire would bring. They started getting rather scared when this snorting would go on all around them. It started circling them and the campfire. Well, they got very nervous at this point. Well, all of a sudden, the white thing charged out of the darkness at the campers. Reacting quickly, they jumped up and ran back toward their home that was about 100 yards away. All the while, they were being pursued by the white thing. Well, the white thing stopped about 20 foot from their home, maybe at the edge of the woods, as they went back and ran into their home. As the white thing stopped at the edge of the woods, they said it let out a terrible scream. It then turned around and headed back into the woods. The next morning, the campers returned to their campsite and the trail that led from their home to the campsite, and they found it torn up, and they referred to it being something like having been tealed up for gardening. The whole trail from their home to the campsite. They said the campsite was demolished and the whole trail had been like it was tilled up. They said the white thing was upset, and they were very thankful that they had their lives. They believed that the white thing would have killed them that night. A similar incident happened in 2015 when 6 campers were camping in the dense woods in Boone County. They reported a white creature on top of a nearby hill that was crouching. One of the campers said that it stood up on 2 legs and stood almost 8 to 9 feet tall, with shoulder length to 4 to 5 feet wide. They said it was alerted to the campers when it stood up and began to run on 2 legs down the steep hill toward the campers. Luckily, they were separated by the flowing river that was thick with water at the time. But they looked on in horror as the white thing, this Sheepsquatch, searched for an option to cross the river. With no other option, the Sheepsquatch jumped in the water and began wading across the river toward the campers. The campers began to run away from the white thing. The white thing finally came out of the water, and the campers reported that it appeared like a bipedal dog in the chest with its fur wet from the river crossing, and it continued to run after them out of the river. One of the campers said they knew that they were about to die. This beast was far faster than they were, and they knew it was not going to be long until their end came. But they soon heard a loud, gut-based screech heard from far in the distance. And they said the white thing stopped in mid-stride and stood straight up. The campers continued to run, but one looked behind and said the white thing let out a pathetic whimper and turned, and then on 4 legs ran the opposite direction after it heard this gut-based screech. The campers quickly went the other direction and left, many of them leaving their stuff in the woods. Now, why did this animal call off the attack? What was this sound that it heard? It apparently was another white thing. Maybe it was a male or female or an older white thing calling off this beast from the attack. No matter what it was, this one white thing was about to kill these campers, no doubt. The campers say that they informed the locals of this incident, but they did not inform the authorities because they did not want to be ridiculed. So the actual identity of these campers is still unknown today. So what is this Sheepsquatch, the white thing of Boone County? Many people have sought to find out, but no one has seemed to have found the true answer. Is it an animal? Is it a beast? Is it a demon? Or is it just a story? A creature of lore? Those of us who live away from West Virginia and away from Boone County, we may never know. There are many stories, legends, and accounts given to us by the generations before us, and even from our peers who claim to experience things almost beyond our understanding. Some stories are just that, stories. But some things that seem to be beyond our imagination are actually real. But many times they are just too terrible, too scary, so we choose to laugh and say, surely that can't be true. But for the people of Boone County, West Virginia, they don't have that luxury of that choice. Those who have seen the white thing and those who have heard it, they can't laugh it away. You better believe this. The white thing of Boone County is not just a creature. It's not just a monster. It's a killer. And if it sees you, it will come after you. And if it comes after you, it will catch you. And if it catches you, well, you know. There's always so much I could add to these scary places. There's so much history that I could add, so much to the white thing itself, information about that, or to the game itself. But I guess I'm going to talk about the game itself. Remember, I wanted to add this because in the new content itself, Wild Appalachia, there's actually a picture of the wild thing, the Sheepsquatch, on the very cover of Wild Appalachia. So the new creature is teased in the very new content of Fallout 76. So I believe you can look for this in the new content. This is going to be in the creatures, and then it talks about looking for the new cryptid in the new quest line. So I believe this is going to be one of the new creatures that comes in the March and May updates in Fallout 76. So Sheepsquatch, here we come. We're going to hunt you down in Fallout 76. I hope you enjoyed this Scary Places. Not only does it tell you a little bit of what's coming in Fallout 76, it gives you a little background and the lore of where it comes from in West Virginia. Be sure to look at all my links down below. We have Discord. Look at my Patreon. It's free to go check it out. And I appreciate all my Patreons. Y'all keep me on YouTube. And by the way, you think about becoming a Patreon as well, because boy, that's what I really need as well. I hope to see you guys in West Virginia very soon. I am the KingFanMan. I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.